Yo, what up? I am building a newsletter business and I'm going to give you weekly updates, even if this whole thing shits the bed. Let's get cracking. It's week 4. All right, so let's start with the money, man. I think in week 2, I was talking about monetizing the newsletter, and I was showing you some offers that we had, which was from $14.40, $1 per click out or per click. Morning Brew, which this is a big brand right here. That's dope. $1.20, and then fly over with the strongest one, $1.60. I didn't want to start that yet because I want to build I want to build more credibility with my brand. And when I say my brand, with my audience, I want them to feel like I'm not just pushing stuff on them. We're in week 4 of this newsletter and this new format that I have with the group. And I don't want to start like just pitching and doing sponsor stuff just yet. And also, man, this right here is chintzy. Like I want the real money. Anyways, we'll talk about that more later. But I wanted to give an update on where we're at with monetizing it because I didn't talk about it last week. So these are the offers that we have right here. And then I think in week 2, I was telling you that I went to 2 other platforms in hopes of getting some bigger and better deals eventually. One was Paved. They approved me finally. In week 2, I was talking about how I wasn't getting any response or whatever. Paved was dope. Paved so far has been responsive. Haven't seen any offers from anybody, but yo, I just got approved like 3 or 4 days ago, right? So I ain't tripping. Paved was cool to work with. Hecto, this is a pain in the ass so far. By the way, I found Paved and I found Hecto through doing some AI research on some of the best third-party platforms to go to monetize a newsletter. These are the ones that came up after I did some deep research. Again, Paved has been dope. Hecto, I've sent messages, and also, bro, like I went in here and I set up all this shit. Like I had all this set up and it's not showing anymore. And I think also, let me see, add your newsletter. I had all this shit set up. It's not showing anymore. So that's a bit frustrating. So I'm going to go do it again. I've sent like 2-3 emails now to Hecto. Haven't heard back. And I don't know why my stuff hasn't been set up. So I'm going to stop complaining. I'm just telling you what the experience is like. I'm going to try to set this up again and see what's going down with Hecto. But if it continues to be a pain in the ass, I might just say peace to them and continue pushing on and stick with Paved. So that is the monetizing part. Next, let's go over the data, man. All right, so the goal here is to be over, let's see where we're at. We want to be over 40%, right? 40% with the open rate, and then a click-through rate of over 8%. Why those numbers? I don't know, man. I just did some research. It seems like those are good numbers. So then those are good like benchmarks that other businesses are looking for when they want to put their business on your newsletter. So those are my benchmarks right now. And last week we did this right here. Shepherd's Pie had an open rate of 44%. So we hit the goal. And a click-through rate of 7.5%, almost 9, but whatever. If you can see, these are the lowest. That was the lowest click-through rate we've had and the lowest open rate we had. And I think, again, I was talking last week about the focus on content. For my newsletter, it comes in the form of a recipe newsletter, but it's really not. It's a story and it's entertainment and blah, blah, blah. But for me, what I learned from this is that the recipe in the title, I'll always have a subject line recipe. That recipe's got to be good. Shepherd's Pie. I'm not sure if my demographics like cooking shepherd's pie. So when this landed in their inbox, I'm not sure how excited they were about it. So it told me, yo, I gotta, always have my dope story like we talk about, and I'll go into it here in a second, but I gotta have a good story, but also gotta have like a good recipe, something that makes somebody say, hell yeah, I want to cook that. Let me see what's cracking this week in the Bald Buck newsletter. And as you know, I talked about this in week 1. I go to Reddit, I read stuff to get inspiration, to get stories. I make it into mine. And so this one was about some person who talked about rehoming their dog. They didn't really rehome their dog. They abandoned the dog. So I went into that story. And then my articles, always right now I'm testing this theory of having drama or travel or some nostalgia. This is for my demographic. I think giving them some kind of drama in a story, giving them some travel information and nostalgia would fit well with them. So that's what I'm testing, and it did a lot better the last couple weeks in my very first newsletter, which just had a bunch of news article summaries. And so then let's look at the performance of this, right? So let me go up here. We go to the performance, have the open rates, and we see that last week the nostalgia got more clicks than and then travel got the second most, and then the drama, it got like nothing. And a week ago, drama got all the clicks. And so right now I'm just like gonna stick with these three themes for at least a month, maybe even longer, to see which one they're biting off of, and then I'll double down on that. So for example, if they're really liking nostalgia after 4 weeks or longer, I might give them, 2 of the 3 articles may be about something nostalgic. If they're liking the drama more, then same thing, 2 of the 3 articles might be about the drama. And same thing for travel. So I'm just in the testing process right now, but obviously they like the story because they're buying into this guy I basically created. And I know that because they respond to the emails every Sunday. I won't go through all those. I don't want to show people's information, but they respond to them. And then they're also digging the recipe because they click on the recipe. But I want to make sure that I'm also giving them content that's bigger than the recipe, or not really bigger than the recipe, but it's just more content, more entertainment. And I'm figuring that part out. And that's the main thing. So I have some things I'm testing this upcoming week. We'll talk about it next week. This video this week is a little shorter, and that's dope. I don't want to sit here and be talking just to talk. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm just talking just to talk right now. Let me shut the hell up. I'll catch you next week. Peace.